Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. We saw some news coming in the market. US wholesale prices rose 0.9% in July, much more than expected. So the inflation is kicking in, and market reacted to it. We saw all-time highs and kept pushing, but then we came right to that support level. And now buyers are seeing if they will reclaim this level. There's going to be interest here, or we're just going to see a bigger sell-off coming back to 654 and 600 levels right here. It's been a nice, good uptrend up till now, but then this big kill candle could be a reversal for the prices to come down, or due to inflation rising or market knows something, we could see a nice, if buyers reclaim this level, we could see a nice reversal and back up to 24,200 and 24,400 levels. Could take a few days, but looking at the daily, it's a shorter pullback. A couple of days ago, we saw a bigger bull candle taking out all the highs and market kept pushing. Sentiment is definitely positive, but due to inflation and everything, we're seeing these bigger swings. Back when NASDAQ was up in the 16,000 range, we would see smaller pullbacks. But now, just intraday, we're seeing these huge pullbacks, which means there's a lot of volatility in the market, a lot of opportunity in the market, but you don't want to get caught in moves like so. So having a strict stop loss is very important, because let's say if you're a buyer in this region, you thought that market's going to keep rallying up. We saw a big pooch down, and all of those buyers in this region especially who bought at all-time highs right at this region and thought that they're going to be swinging it upstairs, they got stopped out, or they're going to be feeling a lot of pain at this point. And a lot of the shorts who keep shorting the high up here, they got rewarded. They got squeezed, they shorted up here, they got rewarded, and then we've just been seeing this short squeeze. Anyone who was even a short here, if they didn't get out at this pain point, they would have been completely pooched, because market kept going higher. So a lot of these buying here were actually short sellers that were aiding to it, which means if sellers cover their positions, they become buyers. So we saw these little rallies and market kept pushing up, and a lot of the stubborn sellers kept shorting the market. It kept getting squeezed out, kept being buyers, and that's why these small bull candles. But then big whack down, so anyone who was a seller in this region, they got out here. So there's a lot of indecisiveness at this point. And a lot of the weak bulls, or anyone who is not on the institution side, could have just kept buying in these regions and thought the market would just rally higher. And all of their stop losses just got run today. So I saw this big rally down, and I got in at around this region, and I caught a nice move. At about 380 plus 157, I added to the position, and then I got stopped out right around here. It kept rallying higher, but then this kill candle stopped me out. This is pretty big. And now market's just going. I had a few other tries right around this area, but it kept stopping me out because I had tight stops, because I just didn't want to get pushed or get a bigger kill candle, and just wanted to wait for a tighter setup. That's where we are sitting at for the account or today's trading. Market just opened. It's gonna come in, and overnight range is actually way above. So there's a big gap that could get filled up. Now it's just trying to go and fill that gap. That entry would have been nicer if I had a nicer, bigger stop, but like I said, I was trying to protect the capital. There was a lot of chop here, and I had a few tries in this region and that region, but I kept getting stopped out. Just wanted no clear direction. Volume just died off, especially on the 1 minute. You can see this whole chop. But that would have been a nicer entry on the top of the support, which would have yielded good amount of return. But let's check this out. All of that region was about first kill candle was 140 points, and then that's about 170 points of drawdown or big kill candle. Great for shorts, but that came in very quick. Just one big flash. Someone who went short here, that would have made some money, but now we're trying to go fill that gap up. We could go see higher, but because we are below the overnight range, we just have to be careful if we just get a rejection up here and keep selling downwards. Even on the 30-minute trend seems to be lower. Let me just come in, and that's why these trend lines play a key role. Once we break the trend line, like so, we came in back, try to retest it. We could have been tested or come to the 50% of that region, and it just kept going down. So here's the larger trend line at the moment. If we get there, price is definitely stuck in a huge big wedge at the moment, so that's why there's a lot of indecisiveness. Let's just keep it at that, like so. So we'll come in and draw the low of the first 15-minute. And see where the high takes us. We could potentially get rejected up here. Also, before this big move happened, the overnight range was actually very tight. Very tight. About 40, 50 points. Usually it's been about 90 points. So there was not a lot of volume in the market, especially yesterday as well. There was the whole session was a big chop fest. Yesterday I had a trade up here, thinking that we would go and revisit the overnight range, or at least go to the 50% of it. But then I was wrong. I was on the wrong side. We kept seeing a bigger sell-off. We saw some relief here. I thought, okay, this would be a reversal, seeing we're at all-time highs and volume just kicked in, and we can just easily go and at least test the top of the range, or at least the bottom of the first 15-minute candle, but we did not. So I got stopped out, giving away all my profits. But then I saw that there was a clear support here. First wick, second wick. So I got somewhere around here and kept adding to the position and kept trailing it and made a good chunk of it. I was off stream. That was later in the day, about 2:30, right after lunch, but that was a decent setup. There's a big kill candle, and I was just waiting if we just retrace it. It did. My stop would have been just right here, and just never saw light of day. It just kept going higher and higher. So okay, testing the bottom of the overnight range. A lot of volume kicked in the market, so maybe market knows something we don't. Even this candle is about 60 points opportunity is definitely there. Just watching, seeing where this 15-minute candle ends up printing, if we're going to print new highs or that's the exhaustion of the move. A great trade. If I had waited here, I didn't take profits anywhere around here, that would have yielded a big trade, and that was actually my profit target. But seeing that it was pre-market, I just wanted to lock in the gains, and they would have just easily chopped all day or dwindled down. We kind of broke that wedge as well. So let's see. We could come in and draw a volume profile, but that does not make a lot of sense at the moment because we could just clearly see these nodes or regions where market's just been trading and wants to go back to these levels of the magnet. But seeing a big cool candle, there is a chance it could just keep reversing and come down and test. Once it breaks the wedge, it could come down, test the 650, 6570 region. That's the previous week's volume profile or nodes where a lot of trading was done. So looks like we're halting right at that 50% mark. Could be a point of control or flip. Actually, let's come in and draw the volume profile and see what's happening in real time. So yeah, that's the point of control. You can easily see at 5 minutes. Once we broke that, we kept going higher, and that's might come and tap the point of control or this area, that bigger node where a lot of trading was done yesterday. And the value area high is actually closer to the high, last high before this big kill candle, roughly. Couldn't reach that value area high, and that's a discount price for sellers to come in. So, and that's a premium price for the buyers, and buyers don't want to come at this point, so they would wait for a buy signal at the value area low. So that's what we're seeing. We just got a little tap below, which tells me market could easily go up. And but I'm just waiting for the candle close and see who's in control. Is it the buyers or is it the sellers? A lot of confluence is going on at the moment. A lot of confluence. Getting rejected there. I think we'll come and tap in the 50% of that or the bottom of this range at least once. Quick sweep up and then sell down. Let's see how this plays out. Six minutes before this candle close. Looks like we're pushing. And we tapped it perfectly on that mark and got rejected. Like I said, these levels do come into play. 50% of the overnight range, and we got rejected. Tells me we could be range bound all day because that's not actually a lot of volume. Looks like it's huge candles because it's just one big sweep in one go, but previous weeks we've been seeing more volume. Like if I show you this day, a couple of days ago, steady buys, up, down, big volume, big candles coming down, steady over time. Um, Nothing like today though. Today it's just been a big sweep down, quick one. So that would have shaken a lot of the week longs who had their stop losses or trailing stops right below the range and they got stopped out, and a lot of the strong bulls would have gotten here. And could be a squeeze as well, because when it came up here, could have seen a lot of sellers kick in and hoping that the price would just keep dwindling down. But so let's see. That could have been a nice trade, nice entry, and stopping the money and seeing if it runs off of the VWAP. About 20 points, that's not bad. Market's definitely moving quick. Just broke the 50% of the overnight range. Just definitely testing. Might just go magnet off the top of the overnight range. Go and test it. So definitely we are seeing that the buyers definitely reclaim this level. Sellers couldn't push it through. And also we are noticing strong volume, quick reversal, which indicates that there is some buying action and sellers are not very interested. This was an institutional move. Sellers might be shaken out because previous days market's just been going all-time highs. Yes, there's been a lot of short opportunity that comes in a little bit later in the day. So they want confirmation. Even yesterday, all the sellers who thought they could push the price down to 810 level, they got shaken out or they were just chopped out. And when volume dries off like this, that means a lot of people just got off the screens. And today, seeing that the overnight range wasn't as strong tells me that it's not a lot of volume. Maybe one side could be very strong. So let's see. No buys today. Let's see where the candles close. Let us see. And no other significant news today as well. So this could be the entirety. Again, coming to test the VWAP. 15-minute closing in about 1 minute, 40 seconds. Looking at the order flow, not a lot of orders downstairs, nothing significant below, close to low of day, but a lot of orders have piled up upstairs, 23906 level. So we could potentially come in the bottom of this range, or we already did so. And there's huge orders piled up above 934 level where market's heading at the moment. All right, so let's see if this candle closes upstairs. It failed to do so. $926. That's where a lot of the orders were, and it just took him probably, and probably it's just gonna try to retest it again and print new high of day. 965 seems to be the high of day. Pre-market high of day. If you go retest it, and if we break this wedge, there's a trigger for potential long entries. I want to take these, I'll rephrase. It's interesting that there's opportunity where you can go for these 10-point trades, and a lot of people do that. But I want a stronger confirmation, and I'm stopping myself from doing that and just limiting my trades and having a couple of good trades and then just exiting the market. So let's see where this 5-minute closes. It breaks out of the opening range. All right, looks like it's closing above. Still a long way to go. Couple of minutes. We'll come back and retest here, so we'll have an order ready. Right around here, depending where it closes. If it's a big wick and comes down back in this range, then just have to be patient. Right, strong bull action, breaking out of the range. Literally all of that gap is just filled up right now. A lot of opportunity. We just bought here and held. I didn't. Could have just left a few runners, so that's moving my limit again because I don't want to see a wick. I want to see a close up above the opening range. We don't want to see a big wick and it comes down and then it can dwindle down fast. Right. Now it's seeing like a strong momentum. 55 seconds before this candle closes. You're going to come back, give us an entry, or we'll see. That's a strong volume breakout. Since the open, it's been about 100 points. That's inflation for you. Just in 10 minutes, market's moving 100 points. 150 up and down. Used to be back in the day when NQ was just moving about 100 points in a whole session or in a week. Maybe 20 points a day. similar to what ES is doing. So in about 10 years' time, ES is going to be moving 100 points as well when it reaches to 10,000 probably. Arbitrary number, but all right, let's see if we can get a fill coming, retesting the closed above, which is a very good sign for the bulls. Didn't look like it gave us a nice pullback. Looks like it keeps pushing. Potentially it could just sell as well. Always good to zoom out, see the bigger picture. Fighting the top of the all-night range. It just keeps going. Let's see if we break out of the wedge. Missed a lot of entries, but just trying to be patient. This could be a potential sell right at this point, so we need to break out with a lot of volume to confirm the bulls that okay, this is not a key resistance level, or sellers are not defending it. But if volume dries off or we can't reclaim that level, and there is a potential coming back. Let's say if we got in here, risk would have been about 15 points to make 20 points. Not bad. 1 to 1.5. Very important to sit on your hands. It's a key skill. Most of the times, if you can just wait it out, setups are always going to be there. Markets open every day almost, except a couple of holidays. So there is opportunity. But even if you FOMO it right now, you would have caught a bag anywhere in this region. Coming back to test the wedge. It's like a very strong opportunity. That's a nice buy signal as well. So right in this region. Whoa. See, that was a big kill candle right at that. So sellers might be reclaiming that. See if we can get a fill. My order was at top of the range, but missed by a few points, but it's all right. That's what we were talking about. Sellers came in hard at this moment. They're trying to defend it. See if we can retest and go higher. It was a big wick that got printed. That tells me that this key level, we might not break it, but we might go retest, and that's the trade I'm looking for.
Order filled.
Right, we long. That would have been a better fill right at the entry there, but this will do. If we go retest it, then it's very strong. A stop's going to be right below VWAP. If that doesn't hold, then no point sitting in that trade. And I got stopped out.
Order filled.
That was a quick big loser. I'm interested though again here, right at VWAP. You can get some quick scalps. Maybe the bottom of the range would be a nice buy.
Order filled.
Buying here. See if we can get a quick scalp.
Order filled.
Getting out there, top of the range. Could have held, but could be a point of resistance for sellers. I mean, for buyers. Keeps going up, we'll find other entries, but we just gained back what we lost, I guess. If this rejects, right, we could see a big kill candle. I have to be careful because these kill candles are coming in fast, quick. Trade was just at VWAP. Same thing. I closed it and I went in again to see if we can retrace. Or I would have just gotten out. Found rejection there. A lot of the orb setup guys, they're out at the moment. So not a lot of buyers would be holding it there. Market's just in the opening range at the moment again. Big kill candle did it. That's a clear rejection there. Clear rejection point. It's trying to go break above the range again. And if it clears this, price will accelerate to 23950 level and retest it and see if buyers can claim it and shake the sellers out. So might see an acceleration, so this could be a nice entry again. Using 1 minute for entries and try to get in where there are red candles so we don't see a lot of drawdown. A lot of action going on at the moment, for sure. That's a nice entry. I have my order ready. Right there.
Order filled.
I'm long. Tight risk. See if the momentum continues, because that's a nice bounce off VWAP, and if this carries forward, this could be a nice trade. Trailing stop break even. I'll let it run. See if we can break the wedge. Or if we find a lot of resistance there, then no point staying in it. But we're definitely going to, price should accelerate and go retest it and see if we can find more sellers there or moving my stop. I don't want to get stopped out. Done it too many times. Momentum looks strong. We want this to continue. Depending where this close, I'll trail my stop. Huh? Not doing it. I would have gotten stopped out right there. Not a bad thing. I would have been in profit, but I would have missed that move because I wanted that see that I want to see the acceleration up to the top of the wedge. Finding a lot of resistance there. Bulls are fighting. Let's see if we can get another chance. The price didn't accelerate there, which tells me the resistance is pretty real. It needs to just break free all of that, clear this region.
Order filled.
And stop me out. Again, that would have been a nicer entry. Because we might see a wedge break anyway. So maybe quick scalps is the way to go. See if this holds or breaks.
Order filled.
Getting in again, seeing a lot of support here off of the 15-minute. This could be a fake out before the real move. NQ likes to do that. Entry could have been a little bit, couple of points lower, but let's see if we can get the momentum on our favor. Left tight risk. Right, looks like we're pushing higher. Let's see if this continues or it's just a fake move. Just being patient. Trying to test the high of the opening range. If it breaks below, then that's not very good. It needs to close above. Yeah, looks like seller could be in control. This is a deciding candle. We a nice big push higher. Not doing it then. Buyers could have exhausted. Testing it, but failing. Testing again. This is going to be it. We want to see a nice volume and price, just using this as a magnet, this level. At the moment, the volume just dried off. We want to see a nice big buyer come in. That's why I'm keeping risk tight, because otherwise it could whiplash pretty quickly. Right, some volume coming in. Is this going to be the move? Or is it a short day today? That's the line in the sand at the moment, where our position is. We want to see volume come in like so. We don't want to see volume drying off right at the highs. That's not a great sign for breakout traders or people who are long, hoping that the wedge would break. And at the moment, volume seems to be drying off. Needs a big, nice bull candle for the momentum to continue. The momentum trader, that's what I'm looking for.
Order filled.
I'm getting out of it here. Hit my stop, because now it's just dwindling. All right, classic stops me out and then kind of runs up. See if we can find an entry on the air, stops me out and then runs up. Classic. Did a lot of resistance, need to clear all this area, so I'll give it another stab soon. Don't want to get in too much drawdown though. Right, long. See if the momentum continues. Or was it just a shakeout move?
Order filled.
Not interested. Lost a little. And maybe we'll do some quick scalps and see. Market's not rewarding momentum at the moment. Might be rewarding quick scalps, but right now it's in the opening range again. So it could be a sell trigger for most, but we are above the overnight range or right flirting with it, so it's still in the chop territory. Found good support off of VWAP. Tells me that it wants to go higher. Bulls are stepping up, but it's just in chop territory. Even go for some accuracy here. Right, shakes everyone off, and now it's going for the test again. Getting rejected.
Order filled.
Going long here. Finding some support off of VWAP. See if that momentum continues again. I've had too many tries at this because I want to catch that. Kind of a good entries though. These are good entries with tight risk. Because one trade's gonna wipe all the losses out if it works. If it doesn't, we'll close the day. Looks like a strong buying action going on here. Prices are holding, so what we don't want is a big kill candle. Market can do that very quick. I want to get caught with my pants down. Still flirting with the opening range high. Need to break it fast. Good volume. It's flirting with it. Looks like it didn't do it, but I'm gonna give it some room. Looked like a short setup. Let's see. That's what I didn't want. That's why I have a dynamic or a wider stop now, because I gave it a couple of times. It kept wanting to test those levels. I got stopped out a couple of times, and I could have just stopped then and there, but it looks like the momentum can continue, so I'm just waiting. I could be wrong, like yesterday. Doesn't look like very high probability if it's just wicking. Volume just died off, but we are at the VWAP. Buyers use it or algos use it as a, because it's volume based, you know. This is where the volume can flip downwards or upstairs. But right now, we are right at the VWAP, which tells me the volume is favoring the bulls because we kept getting bounces off of it. So this is the first bounce, this is the second, third, fourth bounce, which tells me that sellers can't push the price down and flip the narrative. So it's testing again the opening range breakout point. Let's see if it does it this time. Finding a lot of resistance there. That's my absolute stop. Let's see if we can continue higher or pooch. Right, we're testing it and broke above its strong volume. This was just to shake out weak longs. And yeah, price should accelerate now to 23950 level. That's what all the longs would like to see. That's where all the shorts will just cover. And that red candle is not really good for the shorts at the moment. They thought that, okay, momentum is going to continue lower, and they also shorted up here. They made some money, but price keep reversing on them. So if it accelerates toward this, we're going to see a bigger move higher because all the shorts that are trapped, they're going to cover. It's all greed and fear. A lot of people, if the price moves up this level, they're going to be fearful that, okay, all this red candle couldn't push the market down, and now it could break higher, so they will cover their positions. And all the guys who bought up here, they will add to their position. That's the greed component. It's definitely slowed down here. We want to see strong volume at breakouts. So a big nice candle up to shake everyone out. Not doing it at the moment. Which tells me there's a lot of resistance up, overhead resistance. So I need some good volume. That's it. That's it. My stops break even. 1 point, couple of points in the money to cover cost. Let it run. Let's see if we break this out, then that'll be a great trade. We need to clear this area for sure. A lot of resistance there. Nice. Kind of getting stuck in this region. So got stuck last time. Cool. These wicks are not the best at this region. We want a nice push higher, so because there's huge sellers sitting here, can just push the price down. Okay, great momentum. Price is accelerating towards that level. This was just a move to shake everyone out, hit stop losses. This is a real continuation of this momentum from below. Yeah, it just did whatever, and now it's showing some momentum again with strong volume. This is strong volume. That's why I had to re-enter, get out because I didn't want a big red candle. Just have to be careful. All right, it's trying to break out now at the second test. This was the first touch, got rejected. Second touch might see a big acceleration. I'm gonna go secure my 16 points or so. The price can just puncture through this wedge. Getting a lot of rejection there. All right, this could be it. This could just break and accelerate, and shorts are going to cover. They're going to be panicking because this candle closed higher. It didn't print a wick. That's the panic zone. I'll trail my stop even higher. 24 points is not shabby. We lost a lot of points, so this could be it. Finding rejection again could just stop me out and then run. So I'm just being careful. It's definitely running. You don't want to miss the move when it breaks out, because that's going to be nice 20, 30 points or higher from experience. All right, lots of rejection there. Sellers are coming in there heavy, thinking that it would just dwindle down. That's why buyers need to push them through and fight. Let's see who's going to win this fight. Rejection galore. What is it going to be? Price is not holding, fighting for it. Volume dying off as well. Not the greatest sign.
Order filled.
I got stopped out there. It does puts us break even for this session. I mean, lost some, but that nice trade kind of made up for all those losses, and took another wrong trade there, I admit. Could have closed the other break-even trade at some profit, quick scalps, but that's what I didn't want to see. It completely reversed and could just go down, so I'm quick at locking in profits. The last trade could have been $300 too, but I was giving it some chance to break out, which is still going to. Looks like it, but it just came back to grab a lot of liquidity. So let's use those profits. What do you say? See if we can get a breakout. That's definitely a point of resistance. Price doesn't want to shake at the moment. Think is getting in early, risking some drawdown, or waiting for the breakout and come back, retest, and then ride it. Looking at these kill candles, that can reverse pretty quickly, and there's a lot of rejection in this area, so like so. So that exit was pretty good. Okay, orb guys are going to be coming back again, because now it's coming to test the top of the overnight range, or the top of the opening breakout. That's the buy trigger for a lot of orb setups. Orb traders. All right, sellers coming in, or this is just a
Order filled.
going long again with all the orb guys and see if it continues. My risk will be tight again. Don't want to give up profits on the day. We could see a break above or a dwindle down. So this is the line in the sand now. It did close, so that's the higher low. That was a better entry. If you ask me, it could just come down and test the range, but I missed some entries before, so seeing some drawdown. Not a fan of that. And it just breaking down. That's not a great sign. That's my stop, and I leave it. Set and forget. All right. First test, second test, third, most of the time does it probability wise. Got third point, sellers are gonna be like, okay, we give up. Buyers, that's your way. You go through. So if it goes and tests it. All right. Looks like it's doing it. A lot of rejection. My stops break even. Don't want to get caught with like a big whiplash.
Order filled.
Stop me out. Might just close the day here. Looks like it's a lot of indecisiveness right at the highs. Could do these smaller scalps though. Like a smaller 5-10 points. All right. Stops me out and then runs up, tests it again. Gonna be a terrible entry if I enter, but looks like it might just break out. Entries haven't been sharp past minutes because it's just stuck there. Couldn't break out before, and now it's just testing it. That's a nicer entry.
Order filled.
At that little tiny pullback of a 1 minute, got that entry. See if it runs up. All of the stop break evens. If I just had a wider stop, it wouldn't have stopped me. But I'm gonna protect my capital. I wanted to run up, or I'm not interested. That's the trade. All right, testing the wedge. this could be it. That's the point to add for a lot of longs. They want to see a strong breakout. Shorts are going to cover if we clear this area. For sure. Should see an acceleration, a nice big push up. Buying for the next 5 minutes, 6 minutes. A lot of rejection there. Right, that's shorts covering. That's the acceleration. Nice. We want to see a strong push higher. My stops break even again. Might stop me out, but that's just the market conditions. What can you do? I'll wait for it to get away from that pullback. Wait for it before a couple more pushes. Okay, stops break even now. That's the push. Very nice. Price gonna accelerate. It just cleared off the highs. So very nice. Not a lot of resistance here, right at the 50% of yesterday's overnight range. Might go test the high of that overnight range. Not a bad point to add as well.
Order filled.
Adding. Gonna stop me out right at when I add it, or is it gonna push higher? Shorts are going to cover, man. Should I give it some room? Go in some drawdown? Yeah, wise choice. Wasn't a strong ad. Momentum just doesn't want to continue. A lot of overhead resistance. We're going to see a big squeeze. Not seeing that. Oh, running. We wanted to run. Rip. That looks like the rip. Rip's coming. That's the pullback. Would have been a better entry there. That's mean drawdown. Just at a very terrible average. That would have been a nicer ad or taking profit, getting in again, but just seeing it broke the wedge with good volume, there's a high probability it will just continue. Couple more rips and we'll be out. All right, let's see if this does it or I'm out. A lot of rejection there. Give it some room. A lot of rejection there. All right, last chance. Is it gonna do it? All right, looks like it. It's moving. They're gonna squeeze them shorts right at the yesterday's 50% of the overnight range. We need to go at least go test the high of the yesterday's overnight range, and that's a nice move higher at least to this point. Looks like there's so much rejection there. I'm just being patient, but it's testing me. Fingers at the trigger. All right, cool. One minute before this candle closes. Bulls are usually slow to react. Shorts come in fast. That's the candle we're looking for. And it's not doing it. That's it. Testing the high of the previous candle. My stop's at 4 points. There you go. That's the move. Let's see if it keep pushing. That's the breakout I didn't want to miss up here. That's why I just kept doing re-entries, taking small losses to see if we can. Usually if I had one entry and a big fat loss here, that would have played out anyway. Okay, that's another point to add. I'm very intrigued or want to add here, but I'll just give it some room. I'll secure my 15 points. It's more because we added, my averages moved up, but all right. Looks like we're squeezing.
Order filled.
Stop me out. Pretty good trade. Could have done better. Honestly, could have avoided a lot of losses here, but this chop you can't avoid. Great exit there as well. Can definitely go higher, but that's a point of resistance here. It might be just testing it. This could be another point to add. If I should have let some runners, who knows? But good to add for that pullback. There was a, yeah, I didn't make much on the add, but did make good on the other trade. That's trading. Losses are part of the game. Good to get out quickly. If your winners are bigger than the losses, then I think that's what we're looking for. Trying to control that risk. Losses are going to happen. It might just come down and test the top of this range. But looking decent on the day.
Order filled.
Going long here. See if it continues. I'll have tight risk. Seeing the trend continues. Trend is your friend, they say. We're already above the high of day, so could just keep going higher. Good to secure some profits. Not liking it there. Could just pooch us down. Right at the entry is a good entry to manage my exit if it doesn't work, that's all. Right, that's the frog pull. Bull momentum is kind of slow always. Trying to pull the frog again. There you go. That's the one. Stop break even. I'll let this one run if it wants to. If it does, let's see what we're targeting. Might just stop me out, but We want to see that night trend continuation. That's my trade. So close to stopping me out.
Order filled.
And it stopped me out. And then runs up. All right. Lesson learned. And then it runs up. Sure. We can't be salty about these things, especially when you made about 800 on the day. Not the worst thing in the world. I could definitely work on my trade accuracy, but because I'm very patient with my winners, I let them run for longer, and I'm very impatient with my losses, and I take them quickly. I cut the trade, and I want the winners to run, give it some room, and what ends up happening is they take me out and then they run. So I need to work on that. I can see this run, which it is running, um, but it just, what can you do? Takes me out and then goes. Maybe I should be better at my, oh wow. Can't be salty about these things, can you? We caught most of it. That's the going to test the overnight range. Top of it. We just try to get away from this chart. Dow found a lot of good support and looks like it's running up as well. Not a bad entry right here. See if Dow momentum continues, then this would be a good trade. Entry right at the top of this range.
Order filled.
Going long Dow, seeing like it's pushing higher. We might see follow suit with NAS. Risk will be tight. Let's see if it breaks down or just keeps moving up. You never know. Markets are moving. NAS takes us out and now keeps slowly pushing higher. Maybe I should have had a better trade management there. Just leave one trade and let it run till my profit target, but I've done it in the past and these big kill candles come in, they take all of your profits, so maybe it's a slow process. Maybe the process needs to be very slow. And then if I'm letting it run and adding it over time, then one big day can really give me a healthy profit. But Top Step got these consistency rules and all these rules, so you need to make smaller profits, I guess, 200 a day, 500 a day, especially in the combine stage. If you make more than 50% in one single day, then you need to keep trading. You know, one single day cannot be more than 50% of your overall profit. So that's the combine stage. And in the funded stage, it's you can't take out more than $5,000 of withdrawal. So you can't make more than $10,000. So even if you go higher leverage and say you hit gold, you hit a jackpot. So you need to wait for these consistency rules. So it's working on smaller consistent profits. Looks like even Dow, when we got in, is going to be pulling back, following suit with Nas. Nas could be a nice dip buy here. If we get this dip,
Order filled.
long Nas. That could have been a better entry top of this, but trying my luck here. Really buying it at the highs, but because we're squeezing shorts, I want to see this momentum continue. Looks like that kill candle would have just taken the momentum out, and especially in these conditions where you're seeing huge kill candles, it's not the greatest sign. My risk will be tight.
Order filled.
Got stopped out in the Dow. I get stopped out in NAS as well, and that would be my sign to close the day. NAS still fighting it. More drawdown than I would like. Looks like a slow grind. That would have been a nicer entry where market is at right now, but am I chasing it? Maybe these are high probability setups because trend seems to continue, and once this trend has formed, hindsight always says, oh, I could have gotten it in the middle. So I'm just anticipating market just going and hitting at least the top of the overnight range right in this region. There's still a few fair points to go. And it broke the wedge with high volume, so sellers might not just come in the middle. That's the trade thesis. Let's go and see if we can get that fill. About 20, 30 points, that would be pretty cool if market wants to push. Or it'll just stop me out like Dow did. Dow is a tendency. Dow and the gold, that's why I'm staying away from them. They stop me out. Oh, we bought at the and then they move higher and then they chop. It's like they know that I'm in the position. But on the days when I'm not in the position, like so, right, it'll just keep trending. And I'll just keep watching it. For the days I take a position, like so, this is what I was hoping for. But here I just take a position and it's just chop fest. All right, NQ seems to be stopping me out soon.
Order filled.
And that's me done for the day. Gave up some profits on the day. But that little losing streak tells me that I should be out. So still puts us healthy on the day. Could have been a nice $800 day, but you never know. So thanks everyone for watching, and I hope to see everyone tomorrow. Hope you got some value out of this, and if there's anything, put it in the comments section. Bye.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.